Alistair McCartney, and I'm doing my informative speech on the history of marijuana. Here's my audience again. When looking back on the history of marijuana, it's surprising to see how very much legal it once was. We know what marijuana is today, but what was it years ago? Marijuana, hemp, or cannabis, its real name, is a natural plant that is first traced back to the Central and Southern Asia. Marijuana is used recreationally, religiously, and medicinally worldwide, even though it's illegal in almost all countries. Cannabis has been around for millenniums. The first trace of it was used for food in 6000 BC. By 4000 BC, China used it to make textiles that still remain today. Hemp fibers are the second strongest and most useful fibers known to man. Once cultures found how useful the plant was, it spread across the globe. Cannabis was a major trade product and used in many religious and medicinal practices. Once it spread across Asia, the Middle East, and Europe, it came into America by boat. Christopher Columbus brought cannabis sativa over to America, where it became the biggest cash crop. In 1619, it was a law in Jamestown to grow cannabis. It was used throughout the years in America for a wide variety of things, from the relief of menstrual cramps to Henry Ford's first Model T was made with hemp plastics and it ran on hemp ethanol in 1908. The production of hemp came to a crashing halt in 1937 when federal law banned it. By the 1980s, the Reagan administration began the war on drugs. Through propaganda like Reefer Madness, they scared people into demonizing marijuana. Reefer Madness was an exploitation film that was made in the 1930s, but gained popularity when the war on drugs began. This film depicted people going crazy on marijuana and acting violent while on the drug. People in America didn't know much about the drug because no studies had been done on it. Due to their lack of education, Reefer Madness soon became the face of marijuana. The prohibition of marijuana was in full swing and it hasn't changed since. The government classified it as a Class A drug along with heroin, LSD, morphine, and meth. Class A means it's the most dangerous of drugs and it renders no medicinal value. THC is an active drug in the cannabis plant. You cannot overdose on THC, and no deaths have been directly related to this drug. Right here is my visual aid, and up at the top for the most deaths annually is tobacco with almost 500,000 every year. And then the next is like poor diet and physical inactivity. It goes down to alcohol, suicide, and AIDS and sexual transmitted diseases. And down here at the way bottom is marijuana zero. In 1996, California legalized medical marijuana. This made marijuana available to cancer and AIDS patients to increase their appetite. It also gave people with multiple sclerosis the ability to stop their uncontrollable shakes, and to many others for chronic pain. Other problems that it treated was nausea, vomiting, insomnia, glaucoma, muscle spasticity, migraine headaches, depression, and seizures. Since California, 13 other states have opened for medical marijuana. Since it is an illegal substance for everyone federally, it brings a huge toll on society. Many of the gangs in the U.S. run off the money from the illegal marijuana sales, and sadly it's increasingly more available in children across the country. A recent poll has projected that 52.3% of Americans have tried it. It is clearly a huge problem, putting thousands of young people in rehab centers across the country. Since 1992, 6 million Americans have been incarcerated for marijuana-related crimes. Locking these people up costs billions of dollars to the government. The U.S. has 5% of the world's population, and it holds 25% of the world's prisoners. The war on drugs costs an annual fee of $10 billion to the government every year, and our streets are still flooded with drugs. Just like the prohibition of alcohol, the war on drugs has been a failure. Many people don't know where this drug they have grown up knowing to be extremely illegal came from. Since it is illegal, it is difficult to do any scientific research on it as well. People used it back in ancient times for positive uses, but now it seems to be such a widespread problem. Why is this? Well, that's just something society is going to have to answer.